Hey guys, Haikrazon here with another Platinum Trophy overview, and today we're covering God of War Ragnarok, a huge game I know we've all been waiting for, and a follow-up to the 2018 release. I'm gonna do my best to avoid spoilers, but if they do come up, I will give a warning, so don't worry there. So let's see what this journey for the Platinum is like. Like, comment, and sub if you dig the content to help the channel grow, and let's get into it. So, when talking about the game and trophy overview, the game handled very much so like the first one. We pick up years after it ended, and the prologue leads straight into the post-credits ending of the last one. The game is very much so plays and feels like the first one. After watching all the reviews, I was actually a little worried that there wouldn't be much new, but there is. There's plenty of mechanics, plenty of new things to focus on while expanding the gameplay, the realms, and most importantly, at least for me, the story. Trophy-wise, honestly, it's more or less the same as the 2018 release. I really like that Sony IPs seem to just be so excited to show us what they made, that they make the trophy list like, hey, just do everything, please. We want you to see all the hard work we put into this passion project. Whether you look at things like Horizon or Spider-Man or something like that, they just want you to see what they did, and I really like that. It does come with some challenges, but mostly just do the game, enjoy it, and I really like that kind of play style when hunting for trophies. That being said, really, just do everything. It takes a bit more time than the last one, and you don't have to quite 100% the game, but you may as well. Cleaning up all the collectibles, you need to run into most of the stuff that you don't need for the trophies anyways, and plus the lore in this game is just, it's incredible. There's absolutely no missables, which actually made this the first game I've ever played without even looking at the trophy list first to avoid spoilers. So nothing to keep in mind while working through the story, or no grindy trophies to work on early. Nothing like that. So you really can play this blind. I mean, if you want to play with a collectible guide, that's fine, but, you know, a little bit of Metroidvania-ish in there, so you're still going to have to backtrack for quite a bit anyways. And the guide even recommends to save them for post-story as well. But that's still up to you how much cleanup you want to do. I personally, the way I play all my RPGs, I still try and get as much as I can in a zone before moving on. So my cleanup phase wasn't too bad, really. Some of those zones get really big, but it wasn't too bad. Overall, I mean, it's a collectathon, side quests, and optional bosses. Story, of course, right? But that's the list. Just enjoy the game and what we've waited for years for, and have a good time. That being said, let's talk about the time factor and how it felt actually working towards the Platinum. Like I mentioned earlier, this one is a good bit longer than the prior game. I think that one clocked in around maybe 30 to 40 hours or so, but this one's about 40 to 50 on easy and goes up a fair bit with each difficulty increase. Now, speaking from a trophy hunting perspective, very specifically, because yes, the game is absolutely perfect, and it's newer and bigger and better, but that actually kind of made the cleanup section a little more tedious than the first one. Not like a real complaint at all, right? No actual complaints about the game, but some of the sections just kind of seemed like one chunk too long, whether it was like a puzzle or going through a mine and there was just like one extra shaft or something like that. It just increased some of the, I guess, quote-unquote playability when it seemed a little unnecessary. Again, not a real complaint. And then getting to some of the sections for cleanup was just a little tedious as well, just to get back to, because of the realms being so big and you have to go back and forth to way gates and whatnot. Again, though, these are not at all negative things, but they do slow down the pacing compared to the first one. And then the Crucible was also done kind of interestingly, but we'll get into that shortly. So while getting the Platinum, yeah, it did feel great, and the story is what shines the most here, of course, but I was definitely ready to be done when wrapping up, not ready to be done with the story, though. When getting into things that stuck out, I mean, there's a lot, right? But this isn't just a game review, so I'm not going to dive into all the incredible aspects that the game has to offer. Biggest surprise here, Kratos only calls Atreus boy once. Talk about character growth, right? That was pretty crazy. The Berserker fights were way cooler to me than the Valkyrie fights of the last game. Cooler story too, and actually really awesome, incredible reward that I got to use quite a bit with some of my cleanup as well. Really loved some of the side quests. I mean, there just kept being more and more and more when I expected things to settle down. I will say, when you are doing your cleanup, go for Hrolf before Gna. Hopefully I'm saying those at least close to right, because the Berserker hilt that you get causes massive stun lock and really helped me on the Valkyrie fight. for sure, being able to get in full combos for big damage. So that was pretty sweet. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, the Crucible, it kind of dragged on. You have to do a challenge from each sword, and there's 3, in different orders to unlock 6 special challenges, and it was just weird because it forced you to redo several trials just in different orders, and it seemed like an odd choice because the fastest way is just to pick the quickest challenge of each sword, and which is just one of each, so you're really repeating the same trials over and over and over and over, just in a different combination order to get the challenges to proc. So a little weird there, just kind of seemed forced, like, hey, do our Crucible challenges. It's not like they got harder, it's not like they tiered up. So that was just a little odd, especially when the old school God of War combat challenges got pretty nuts and intense. And infuriating, so that was weird, but not a big deal. And they really gave us a lot of options here to make things easier too. If you're really just focused on trophies and you don't want any kind of unnecessary challenge, you can play on easy and enable mid-boss checkpoints, which start them at half health and give you your res stone back. That only works on non-story bosses though, but I mean the story bosses are not a big deal. That's obviously mostly helpful for the Berserker fights and the last 2 optional bosses. So here's where there might be spoilers depending on what you don't want to know, and I won't be specific on details or anything, but I really like how they did the ending. Of course, I don't see the team not working on a new game, right? But I do genuinely think there will be a spin-off title. I kind of have a feeling it'll be a little too similar to Horizon, but with magic, which would be an awesome story, but I personally don't know if I want a full game like that, especially with a couple smaller loose ends at the end of this one. So it would be maybe nice to see that all kind of taken care of in a DLC, maybe like a standalone that we do see with some other Sony IPs. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think in the comments, if you think this game got the ending it deserved, or if you would have liked to see something different. Wrapping up here, overall, of course, this game was perfect, right? I think it's exactly what we were all wanting. The trophy journey was more of the same stuff, but new stuff, and a bit more of a commitment, which for the most part, especially story-wise, was great. Cleanup was a little more on the tedious side, but hey, what cleanup phase is, right? Just enjoy the masterpiece for what it is, and good luck with Hrolf and Nob. Not near as hard as the Valkyries in the last one, but let me know what your favorite part of the game was in the comments below. Like and sub, because please, that helps, right? And I hope this helped give you an idea of what to expect when going for God of War Ragnarok's Platinum Trophy. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.